Hey friends, and welcome back to Seasonally Productive. Today we are cleaning out we call it the craft closet, homeschool closet. It's also the water softener, water heater, and vacuum closet. I also keep the kids' tents in here that they still use. And she's a hot mess. So we're gonna get her straightened up. It shouldn't take too long, it's not atrocious, but I did just start, I was like, oh, I'll just quickly do this, and the first thing I touched, I ended up like going through every single piece, and that was some homeschool, like, I don't know, like little unit studies or curriculum stuff. And so I actually got rid of like not half, but quite a bit of that. So now I'm going to do the rest. Just kind of needs to be straightened up. I thought I could maybe get rid of sensory stuff, but actually my daughter just asked to play with sensory stuff the other day, so no, but we'll see. Maybe we can get rid of some stuff. So I thought I'd give a little rundown of kind of what's going on in here right now. So on the back of the door, I have one of these cheap kind of shoe organizers. I think this was from Walmart. And in here we just put flashcards and little bits and bobs that don't have a great home. There are things in here that do have a home that are not in their home, however, like the paintbrushes and the glue bottles and the scissors and things like that. I see there's a flashcard there that got missed getting given away. We've got glow sticks in here and bingo dabbers and magnets, so it's just, you know, a bunch of things. It's kind of the overflow. Then in the closet, at the very top, the light is shining, but that bin is just kind of extra stuff, and I've slowly been getting rid of most of it. I think there's like old magnets in there to use for crafts and things like that, and then I have a bunch of curriculum books for future years, our messy paints, and then in there is homeschool stuff too, but I'm gonna go through that. It was like manipulatives and stuff like that, but we might be able to declutter a lot of that. And then there's just some like craft things up in the corner there, craft kits. Then in that pink tote is some sensory play toys, our mess mat, the Play-Doh and sensory bins, have those fun Fiskus scissors, some more sensory play stuff, slime. And then in this row here is more craft supplies in these two rows here. And then that kind of just continues on down. My husband made this organizer to fit in here, but you can see at the bottom it just kind of like, as soon as one thing's out of place, then everything gets out of place because it has to go in its home. It's like living in a tiny house. Like everything has to be put back right, or else nothing gets put back right. When we bought the home, it did not come with a water softener, and this is where it has to go. So that's in here, and then the little tents with the balls and tunnels and things like that. My kids still love playing with those. And this is also where the vacuum cleaner lives. So the floor is really the worst of it, and we're gonna get that cleaned up. And then this is like paper storage and things like that. But yeah, let's get to it. So whenever I'm cleaning, tidying, organizing, decluttering, I like to start at the top and work my way down. That just seems to be the most efficient in my mind and makes my brain happy, so that's what I do. Today's no different. I'm going to start at the top and work my way down. It gets worse as it gets to the bottom, so it's kind of a little bit of motivation as well. Good tip for those of you kind of new to decluttering, organizing, that sort of thing. So now if I was just doing a quick declutter of this space, or sorry, just a quick tidy of this space, I wouldn't be touching every single thing. I would just be putting things back to where they belong, not doing a declutter. But I would like to do a declutter to kind of gain some space in here. So I am going to touch every single thing and hopefully consolidate and be able to make room for what's here. Not necessarily adding things into this closet because I think we already have too much, but just making room for what's here. So as you can see, I have this whole extra stack of curriculum books. I went a little bit overboard. A company was going out of business and I went overboard. So I have to find space for these. It was fine up there. It worked, but it wasn't ideal. And I could also, I'm gonna try and make enough room on the top to have everything fit there nicely. I do also have to fit in these balls up here. That's where their home is, and that works the best because we don't use them very frequently. So another great tip, at the top of your shelves, put things you don't need to access very frequently. Also get a stool high enough that you can comfortably access things. So all that's really in here is some feathers, fall decor, things that, it's actually fall right now. Usually when I go through this, I'm like, oh, dang it, we didn't do the fall stuff, but now we can use them. So I'm going to do that because I've been hanging on to these for several years actually. And then yeah, these are like old magnets. They're going to go in they can just go in the shoe organizer, and then I can get rid of this entire bin. So that takes up a ton of space. And as I'm going through, when things don't have their home or their home is being taken up by something else, then I just make a pile on the floor and get to it at the end. Now, while my kids are still interested in sensory play, there are some that they don't love, that they've never really loved. I've just been hanging on to. So the main one I'm referring to is noodles. I thought this would be fun for them. You know, they can use tweezers or tongs to pick them up, but they just didn't love them. So maybe they can make some art or something out of this instead.
Can I help you?
So I'm going to bring this out and put it on my mental list to use these up for some sort of art project soon. Now, my trick is if I'm going to start decluttering things like this set of sensory play, I want to make sure I'm taking out enough that I am freeing up space. So I have them in stacks of 3. They're in stacks of 3. So I don't want to just get rid of one because then I still have a stack of 2, or I maybe get rid of 2 and then just have 1 left. That to me is like, yes, I can stack other things up here and that's fine if it works out that way. But if I could get rid of 3, now I have an entire section here that I can be using for something taller, bigger. You get the idea.
Why is all this out? I didn't know we had these.
Also, sometimes things get put in where they don't belong.
Ooh, these look fun.
Yeah, I found a bunch of fall stuff. We'll have to use up.
And spooky stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh, I can't wait to do this.
Now, one of my biggest organizing tips, which is kind of common sense, but maybe not to everybody, I am very particular about keeping like things together. So sensory play, Play-Doh, sensory toys, they have to stay together. So I'm not grabbing something from here, from there, from everywhere. Like, this is a small closet, so wherever it has to fit, it's fine. But when you start thinking on a bigger scale, something out of the craft closet, something out of the kitchen, it doesn't seem like it flows as organically as it could. So if you have the ability to keep like things together, and I don't necessarily mean like as in what they are, but more so like when you use them or their purpose. That's ideal.
Mom,
What?
we like sensory play a lot.
I know, we haven't done it for a long time.
We barely play with this stuff, so let me switch this.
Something I thought we would use more of are these foam dice. There should be another one somewhere too. We haven't been. I should get rid of them, but I think I'm going to bring them out and make an effort to use them more, or put them where the kids can access them and see if they play with them.
Mom, also the paint. I want it to be lower down.
I know. I have it here now. But let's see if I can make room lower down. Okay.
I could.
Could you get the pipe cleaners there?
Yeah. I know how to get them lower down.
Well, we have to make sure we can fit.
Jug!
Now, I know not everyone is a fan of micro-organizing and not everybody works that way. I find it's the best for me personally, as well as my children. If they can just pull this out, then it's easy to clean up. It's easy to find things is more important. So they're able to think when they're making their craft, oh, I need pipe cleaners. They can just go and grab a pipe cleaner box. When they're done, they know exactly where it goes.
Pipe cleaners.
And then it's done.
I want them higher up because we should switch this to this because we don't really use these. Is that a butterfly?
Listen to your kids too. They are the ones who use this stuff. Okay, so that we can just
and then that we can toss there. Oh.
Just like your kitchen.
Use these too.
It's just like your kitchen. You want your pots and pans near your stove. You want things that your kids can reach where they're going to be reaching them. Also don't love when things are smashed in, crumpled in like this. I'm going to see what I can do about a better solution. Another quick tip, make sure you have all of your things that need to be organized before organizing so that you can make sure you have enough space for them. Yeah. So another hack I had was to use a lazy Susan in here, and it worked well when things got put back, but when they didn't, I mean, it ended up like this. So I'm going to take that out, put what I can into the shoe organizer. I'll have this whole shelf for more containers. I also want to say that if it's too overwhelming to do your entire closet, start with one shelf or half of a shelf or one container. It doesn't need to be all or nothing. Every little tiny little baby step that you make towards a more simple, stress-free, decluttered life is really a big step, because they all add up, and even just that little bit is going to motivate you to do more. I decluttered our entire last home. We got rid of about 60% of our belongings, and I did it in a very short time frame because we were moving. So I love it, and I love kind of doing the intensity of it, but I realize that sometimes we just need to do it slowly. Sometimes it's too overwhelming. So don't feel like you need to do it all at once. Okay, so obviously just kind of cleared the floor out. That is a bag of like loom weaving stuff that I don't know. I kind of want to get rid of it, but then I also think the kids will do it. So I have kept it so far. But you can see the shelves are looking a lot better. They are almost complete, and I just have to do now the shoe organizer and deal with the floor. Then it's done. My battery is very close to dying here, so I'm going to work quickly, but if we get cut off, I'll just have to show you the end result. So I often get asked how I get stuff done with my kids home. They don't go to daycare, they don't go to school, they're home with me all the time. I enlist their help when they want to help. If they're hanging around my feet, they're getting put to work. Otherwise, they seem to find their own things to do. I very rarely entertain them or have to find things to entertain them. They just are used to having their own things on the go. They have their own lives, they have their own little projects that they work on, and their games that they play. They know that their home, our home, is their home, and they are welcome to do what they wish, or if they want to come and help, their help is very much appreciated too. So that is kind of how we do it, is I just incorporate them into my life because that's all I know and that's all I've ever known, and we just love doing it this way. So here is the reveal. Much tidier. We've got curriculum books there. That's like a bag of, or a container of bags. That's that fall decor. So that's all going to be coming out next week when we do our fall decor stuff. There's the balls and then those craft things. Sensory play and Play-Doh toys, our mess mat, Play-Doh, sensory play bins, those fun scissors. These are those like weaving mats. We're going to use those next week too. And then our sensory play stuff. We have craft supplies. Down here, just like random toilet paper rolls and things like that. Pipe cleaners, water paints, yarn, felt. That's our 100 charts. And then down here, I now have the messy paints in reach, so they can grab that, you know, reasonably whenever they want. Pom-poms, some wooden things, some foam, stickers and craft stuff, beads. That's like flowers and birds and stuff, stamps. And then I was able to clear out this shelf for more of those containers we have there. Popsicle sticks and cotton balls and coffee filters, and those noodles we're gonna use up for a craft soon too. And then these big packs of construction paper. And then down here is all the papers and different things they can use for collages and things like that. And then just some more overflow down here. And then this is that looming stuff, and also right here. I'm going to go through that maybe next week when we do our weaving and see if we're going to keep it or not. And then I did add a little nail there to hang that clipboard on. We do have these 2 hooks for more storage. And then of course the vacuum and the tents are still in here, and the door is looking so much better with everything just kind of put into its own spot. So things that the kids can access easily are down below. We've been using this for a few days now and it's working great. Was able to consolidate enough that I got 4 of these containers out, the flip top small ones, and then this container as well. So I'm going to probably use those in the sewing room, but not for sure yet. That's going to do it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. If you love organizing like I do, give this video a big thumbs up. And if you want to see more of my content, just hit that subscribe button so I can see you in the next one. Bye!